Hey YouTube family, this is Mika Coleman with Tax Deed and Overage Education, and today I'm going to uncover a Sacramento auction. As you guys know, I said I was going to use the first quarter doing tax deed auctions. I'm sorry, I wanted to do a post video on the Dallas County, but when I tell you guys, no, it was Tarrant County I wanted to do. The whole system crashed down like the day before, so I couldn't even do a post about that. So anyway, I am in California right now, and I'm going to be uncovering the Sacramento auction. And as you guys can see, today is actually the deadline to put in your deposit. So I decided I was going to do the video today so that, if you guys decide to do it, if I have any competition out there, you got a really small window to get your deposit in today. So anyway, I wanted to go over this for those that are interested in doing tax deeds. You can sign up for an account. They do have a pre-checklist at the top, which is basically however you sign up, you want to make sure if you're going to be using a corporation, put your name and then put the corporation you want to sign up as. You can put that in the notes. And then you always want to, put your deposit in before the deadline. Otherwise, you can't. I also want you guys to know, one of my students had asked me before, they're like, well, what if I sign up, but I don't put any money in? That's fine. At least you can get to see what's going on. I'm noticing this whole interface of Sacramento County. A lot of counties are changing over to this. For example, Dallas County is the same. So there is a company that's running the back end, but everybody uses the same interface. Just FYI on that. I do kind of like these because they do time out. As you guys can see, it says they start and they go in 10-minute intervals. I kind of like that because if you're hesitant, then, if you snooze, you lose. So I kind of like this kind of format as opposed to, public auctions. I mean, it just really depends. I do want to say the good thing about this auction, although I'm here in California, I'm going to be flying to Alabama next. And so the good thing is I can still bid on these properties because I'm looking at them now, but the auction doesn't happen for another week and a half. So anyway, I wanted to kind of go over Sacramento auction. I do like it. I feel like they have some good ones. I'm going to go in and show you how I research these properties. There are a lot of good there are a lot of good properties that are going to sell in Sacramento. However, there are a lot of these, as you guys can notice, it says notice of pending enforcement action filed by the state of California. So this is clear that this county does not clear liens. As you can see, this one says potential for pending liens for Sacramento City and ongoing code enforcement. Excuse me. So what that means is that you see this opening bid. If you get the highest bid, let's say for $200,000, know that in addition, this particular parcel has liens in court enforcement issues. So that means that this county is not taking care of them. So that means you have to pay for them. Like this one says that this one's basically saying the disclaimer that there's part of the properties on another parcel, so don't think that it's theirs. This one has an enforcement action by a law group. I would stay away for this one. This one has enforcement action by the Franchise Tax Board. So there are some that have some potential issues. So when you're bidding, you do want to kind of look into those to know how much those costs prior to you bidding, because you want to add that into your cost. Now, there will be a lot of people that stay away from those because they're probably afraid. But if you do your homework, you do your due diligence, there's nothing to be afraid of as long as you know what you're getting into. So if you do decide to bid in this county, know that there are liens. And what I really appreciate about Sacramento is they're actually telling you, like this one is for homeowners association. I'd stay away from that. Ugh, homeowners gets on my nerves. But I like that they're putting these in the notes. And what you will find in some of the auctions, they will not even tell you. It's like you'll buy the property and then come to find out, you may have an additional $50,000 lien. So I always tell my students, if you're going to be doing tax deeds, do your due diligence prior to purchasing, because you want to know everything that you're going to encumber once you acquire that property. So I always ask you, the first thing I ask my students is to call the county and ask, are all liens clear prior, or do you encumber the liens? So that's one of the things you want to know. So I'm going to kind of like go over, let's just see. I like to start with the lower ones. I did see one that was pretty good, but I was like, this is, I was like, this is definitely going to be land. I did see one that started out for 1,000. Was it this one? I don't think so. Let me just do, there was one I was like, oh, this is a really good one. I think it's this one. So this, I'm going to just start off with this one for 29,000. And for those that are watching, this is me, like, if this is the due diligence that I do. Now, I did say in my last video, I normally wait a week before, but because I'm here and I've chose a few properties, actually, I think this is the one. I'm going to start this one. I drove by them. You do want to kind of go look at them before you bid on them as well. Or if you know somebody in a state, you want to kind of get your eyes on them so you'll know what you're working with. In my opinion, there are a lot of good ones in Sacramento and the values are high. So I'm just going to walk you through the process for those that are wanting to learn how to do tax deed auctions. I get a lot of questions, so that's why I do these videos. So I'm just going to copy this parcel number right here. And I'm just going to copy this, copy the parcel number. Now I'm going to go to the assessor parcel viewer because we want to know what we're getting, right? We want to know the address. So I'm going to search that. So this is a parcel number. And so now I have an address. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this address and I'm going to copy this address. So I want to know what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to search Google. Oh, see, so this is a pretty decent property. That's nice. Now we all know that this is not going for no $30,000. And I always like to scroll around the neighborhood. Okay, looks like a decent neighborhood, decent houses. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, now that I know that this is a property address, I would write this down in my spreadsheet, and then I'm going to go here to Zillow. Now, I have been a realtor here, so I do have realtor friends, and I still have my license here, so in California. So the Zestimate is saying it's $522,000. Now, in my opinion, this is a great one. Why? Because even if I get this for $200,000, I have $300,000 worth of equity. I'd be curious to know what this goes for. I've already put my deposit in. I will be bidding on this. So I'm gonna go back here as I already did. I start this one. It's letting me know that there aren't any liens, but I still would run a title report on this, or I would go to the county. If you don't want to pay, you can go to the county if you're local. If you're not local, I would definitely try to do a title report with the title company to see if there are any liens. So like, for example, I start this one because the opening bid is $30,000, but as you guys can see, wait, where was that one? Is the Zillow one? Yeah, this one's worth $522,000. So I'm definitely going to be bidding on this one. The max I would probably go, because that's the thing people always ask me. They'd be like, well, how do you know what's on the inside if it's gutted or if it's, you don't know. But I would probably max this out at 250 because I don't think it would take $100,000 to fix this up and I could still sell it and make a profit. Okay, so that's my process on tax deed. So let's just go and look at another one. I feel like Sacramento has some really good ones. Let's start with this one. And by the way, guys, sometimes these may get postponed or they may get redeemed. So you got to look at a lot of them. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to put in the parcel number so I get the address. This one's on 33rd Avenue. It's crazy. I used to live here and I'm like, oh, where's this at? I don't know what. I was like, I've never heard of this. 33rd Avenue. I'll be trying to figure stuff out. Oh, these are nice. This one's pretty decent too. Has a lot of pictures. Let's go to Zillow. Let's see what this one. Oh, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Nice. 346,000. So I will be bidding on this one too. Oh, I forgot that quick. What parcel is that? 0270024. That one. Well, we might as well just go on. I want to look at this one too. This is 35,000. So I also too. People always ask me how much money they should have to invest, and I always tell people it all depends on your budget. If you guys notice, I'm doing like the 30 to 40,000. Those are obviously going to go 100 to 200, but there are some for like 1,000 and stuff. So just FYI, it just depends on what your budget is. So I'm going to do this one. And you want to do a few of them because, like I said, some of these might get postponed or they might get redeemed. And also, too, I want you guys to know that California or Sacramento, mostly California, is a straight deed, tax deed. So like once these are sold, you get the deed. There are no redemption periods. So like if this goes to the auction and it sells, it's your property and it's yours free and clear and you get the deed on it. So let's look at this one. This one's on 51st. One car garage. And look at this one. This one's 352,000. This one looked like they redid this. It's a 31,000 square feet. And what's the opening bid? 023. Opening bid is 35,000. So basically, this is what I do. Now, I'll be continuously going through this list and picking and choosing which ones, but I can come here next week and all the ones that I have starred will have this like postponed or redeemed. So that's why when you're looking at lists, you want to, number one, you want to go by your budget. And then number two, you want to at least get like at least 5 or 6 because you don't know what's going to happen. So let's go down the list and see if there are any other ones. I think I did see one for like 1,000. It was pretty decent. It was a lot though. Let me see. And just for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do any of the pending enforcements because those are like really honestly phone calls. Let's see what else they got down here. Oh, that's a tax lien. See, a lot of these have code enforcements or tax liens. And I'm not talking about property tax liens. These are obviously like other type of liens. Oh, here goes some decent ones. I mean, like this could be in someone's budget. Let's look at this one. This is 14,000. Because sometimes people ask me, do you know of anything? Like as I'm talking and looking at these, I'm like, oh, I need to call such and such and let them know that this is available. Oh yeah, so this, I can't believe this one's starting at opening bid. This now see to me this one because it's in Fair Oaks, which is a nice neighborhood. This one's probably going to be redeemed, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to look it up. Fair Oaks is pretty expensive. Can't believe they didn't pay their property taxes. So let's see what Zillow says. Oh, 500,000. And it has a ramp too. It's probably an elderly person. So 500,000, that's pretty good. And the opening bid is 14,000. In my opinion, this one probably will get redeemed. But that's a good one, right? Because even if you get it for 200, you still got $300,000 worth of equity. I think this one will be redeemed. It'd be interesting to see what happens in a week or so. Let's see if any other ones. They got a lot of good ones. I'm just picking. They're the ones. I like to do lower ones. Yeah, see all these redeemed and canceled? They're probably going to be like that. Let's see. How many do I have? Let me pick another one. Let's do this one. This is 42,000. If you guys notice, I'm picking all the ones that have the less problems. Oh, you guys, I didn't even have to copy and paste it. I just clicked on it and it went there. Oh, that was cool. Let's see what Palmer Street looked like. These are, no, that's not Nevada. That's Napa. Did y'all see that? It says Napa, California. We are definitely in the wrong area. I need to find this in Sacramento, not Napa. So we don't want the one in Napa. We want the one in Sacramento. Gotta watch out for that one. This was 471. So this one looks like it was vacant at one point in time. This is a good one too. So we're gonna star this one. I always be forgetting 251. So it's this one. So anyway, yes, so this is my process of how I invest in tax deeds. As you guys can see, this is pretty straightforward. I always tell people tax deeds, I'm going to say this particular state. Let me just kind of give you guys a debriefing of this county and all about California. So California normally has their auctions once a year. So you kind of like just have to calendar it. But what I do like about California is it's a straight deed state, meaning that you will get the deed. There's no redemption. And so, for example, I used to be a realtor in Sacramento. So I do have like a lot of investors. So, and I also have I still have my license here. So I have a broker. So I could probably, if I was to get one or two of these properties, as soon as I get the deed, these properties will be sold. I will not do anything to these properties, especially if I get them under market. Anyway, that's why I'm doing Sacramento. I always advise people, before you even think about buying at the tax deed auction, know your exit strategy, know what you're going to do with the property before you buy it, whether that's you're going to fix and flip it, whether you're going to wholesale it, whether you're going to rent it out, because all of that is going to dictate the number of the actual max bid number that you're going to bid. Now, for me, because I live out of state, I'm not trying to fix these properties up. I'm just basically going to sell them. For example, if I bid to 150,000, I would like to double my money. So if I bid up to 150, some of these are, as you guys can see, we're worth 500,000. If I could sell it for 300, I've just doubled my money in a matter of 60 to 90 days. So that is, tax deed investing in a nutshell. Now, I want to do this disclaimer, you guys, though. This is only in California. If you are going to the auction in Texas, which is a lot cheaper, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Texas does have, it's a redemption deed state, which means that you have to hold the title for 6 months if you get it at the auction. That's why I try to get properties before the auction, so I don't have to wait 6 months. So it just really depends on the state. I do like Texas because a lot of them do come free and clear without the liens encumbered. As you guys can see, California, you buying the property with the liens. As you guys can see, it's letting you know. So, you have to be a little bit leery of that. However, I always tell people that this type of a niche, there is a budget for everybody. It just, you have to go where your money is going to allow you to buy. So that is the overall of how I do my tax deed auctions in Sacramento County. And stay tuned, I will be heading to Alabama next. Happy investing. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.